What's up, everybody? We're going to do a different review. I just filmed a review that'll be up before this one, but we're going to do one on the Bradley here. This isn't a knife that most people have or want. A lot of people have had them, not a lot of people want them, but I figured we'd go ahead and talk about it just because it's interesting. Now, I don't really know anything about Bradley. This is one of their older models before they were bought by, I believe, Baron Son. At least to my knowledge. I could be wrong 100%, I suppose. But I believe this is a Bradley, one of their X models, or something along those lines. This is stainless steel. It is sandwich construction, tang pins. The blade is kind of not really sharp. I mean, it'd cut you, but there's really no edge to it. Like, if I went to cut a piece of paper, it'd push it to the side for sure. It does say made in the USA here, so that's cool. There's your Bradley cutlery right there. Kind of faded. I assume that just comes with time. But this is stainless steel, so it is quite heavy. However, it's not so heavy that you can't flip it. The one bad thing that I do not like about this knife is how short it is. Let's get a size comparison. Let's go with an EX10. Because everybody and their brother has an EX10 or an EX10 clone. So if we're just doing a size comparison right there, you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. Am I right, fellas? I mean, that's, it dwarfs this knife. For the lads that don't have an EX10 or don't want to spend that type of money, completely understandable. Fly tie aluminum lucha. Flytanium, not fly tie. Flytanium aluminum lucha, as you can see, dwarfs it again. So this is not a big knife. This is for baby hands. I would not recommend this if you have meaty, fat, chode hands like myself. It just doesn't work out too well. I will say, for being stainless steel, sandwich construction on tang pins, for not really having any type of spacer. I mean, it doesn't really need spacers, let's be honest. It is stainless steel. And for it being, I think I paid like $90 for this thing. It's got no tab. The play on it isn't right. You don't want to. It's not insanely good, but that's not bad at all, especially for the price point of this. And to be honest, it flips rather nicely for something at this price point. I mean, it swings good. Really, I can't complain. I mean, if you can pick one of these up, I would say go ahead and do it. Is it the best flipper? Absolutely not. But is it something cool for $100 around that price point? Yeah. I mean, I almost don't want to sell it, but at the same time, I mean, I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to flip it. I can't. My fingers are too fat, man. And I don't have this skill to keep, up here and not work my way down just a hair. And when you work your way down just a hair, with the handles being this short, next thing you know, you're off the knife. It is very square. There's virtually no roundness to these handles, so choker fans, things like that, kind of out of the question, especially with the handle length and it being stainless steel. It's very difficult to get the momentum going in those certain maneuvers. But I will say, for like $100, $90, I mean, you can't really beat this. If you wanted to EDC this thing too, I think you could. I mean, it's got a nice usable edge. I wouldn't say it's the best. I don't know what type of steel this is. I don't believe it's stamped anywhere. I don't see anything. So I can't vouch for the steel on the blade, but, it's got some decent weight to it. So this is something you can pull out of your pocket and I think be pretty confident that you can cut your cardboard box or open up your mail. Because let's be honest, most of us knife guys, that's all we do. When we say we use our knives, we open our letters from the bank. Anyway, the tang pins, I mean, I don't see any issues with them, really. They're pressed in. I don't see them coming out or starting to come out. I don't see any bends in them, but I've only had this knife for a couple of days, so I can't say that they don't fall out. I also don't know anything about Bradley, really, so I can't say that they don't fall out. Other than that, that's really it. I mean, it's a cool piece just to have to screw around with, but as far as an actual functioning flipper goes, it's not really all that. But I do think it's pretty cool, especially for the price point. I would definitely buy one of these in the future, probably. I could see myself doing that. I actually like this a lot more than my bare bones. I actually don't know what this runs on. I'm sure it's washers, but the way it feels, it's got to be bushings, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's smooth, regardless. But for $100, I don't feel like taking it apart. So we're just gonna leave it at that. But that's gonna cut it off for this review. I mean, it's not really. There's not a lot to say about it. It's not the best flipper, but it doesn't tap. It's got okay play or okay tolerances. The tang pins aren't coming out. It's short, stubby. If you got tiny hands, go for it. If you like something heavier, go for it. That's really it. At $100, you're not really losing out on anything, and you can sell it for $100 again if you want. So you can always get your money back. But yeah, I think that'll cut it off here. The whole texturing adds, or the whole pattern adds nice texture to the front sides here. There is no texturing on the side, so it does get slick in those areas. But the blades not rounded, but the corners have been knocked off a little bit, which makes it nice. But it could definitely be rounded over a little bit more. But for $100, you can't complain. Alright, well, I'm gonna cut it off there. This time out for real. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.